Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wicked Funny Podcast. I'm your host, Brian Bowden. With me, as always, Frank Gazzero.
Hello.
And our guest this week, a very good friend of ours here at the podcast and in my personal life. Not only comedic life, personal life. I will call this person not to just ask for things or 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 just be I will talk to them and ask them how their day was. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. John O'Connor. Is it O'Connor?
Yeah.
I said it. John O'Connor.
John
God
O'Connor.
damn.
Love it.
As
Thanks for having me.
we live and breathe. John, for those of you not fortunate enough to be subscribed to our YouTube page, and if it actually makes it to the YouTube page, do yourself a favor. Go look at what John Porch is wearing. He's wearing a beautiful fucking tight, like it's it looks like it's a blue. What are those? What kind of feathers are those? Peacock feathers.
I think it's like palm leaves or something.
Like palm leaves with little red swirls around it. Motherfucker's wearing a bow tie. Show him the bow tie, Johnny.
Bow tie, you can't really see it. It's got little octopus guys on it.
Oh, god damn it. It gets better. It gets better.
The pattern interlock in a weird way, so it fucks with your eyes. It's cool.
Yeah, clashes, man. I love it.
That is a fucking beautiful shirt. That is a beautiful shirt, beautiful bow tie. Beautiful man, John O'Connor. So John, how's the big city? John lives in New York, everybody.
Yeah.
New York.
It's I don't know, man. I never leave my apartment anymore. Ever since COVID, I just stay home almost always. I only go to the office like once a week, but my girlfriend's been sick for a long time, so they've been letting me stay home the past couple of months, which is nice. But yeah, basically, I don't ever do anything ever in the city because even though the crime rate, it's still like a 1 in 5 million chance something's going to happen to you. Or at least maybe it used to be like a 1 in 5 million chance. Now it's like a 3 in 5 million chance. And I don't like
5 million. I think we need to send Frank Gazzero. We need to send Frank on assignment, is what I just heard.
Oh, I think so. Frank,
Very trained person, I'll be just fine.
Yeah, Frank knows karate. He can defend. Would you feel safe?
Corners.
Would you feel safe walking around the streets with Frank in his karate gi?
Absolutely.
You know that he has.
I would hope we would do that.
Feel less safe if I was in a gi.
You would feel less safe?
Yeah, because people are gonna fuck with some dude dressed like a karate guy on the street.
Oh, definitely. That's why it would be funny.
That's why we want you to go in a gi. I mean, unless you're willing to hold a sign that says "kick my ass."
I think that, or just a poster board that says "I dare you."
Oh, that'd be great. I would love to see Frank in a fight. I think that would be tremendous. It would be tremendous to watch him try to block and just.
Honestly, I wouldn't. I would just grab them and pull guard. I would just fall on my back, wrap my legs around them, and try not to get hurt.
I would love it. Have you ever been in a fight, John? Have you ever been in a real fight? Like
no. My uncle got stabbed when I was like 8.
What the fuck happened? How did he get stabbed?
How were you involved in that?
So I wasn't there, but like my dad's youngest brother my uncle was at a party with his brother, my other uncle, and Uncle A got into like a fist fight at the party. So a guy jumps on his back. So now it's 2-on-1. So then my other uncle, Uncle B, he jumps in to pull that guy off. And when he does, someone, they never found out, came out of like the mob, stabbed him in the back, and dragged the knife like all the way down his back, and it went in his ribs, like under his ribs.
Ah! Holy shit!
He had a huge scar on his back, and he got lucky because when the guy stabbed him, he stabbed him with the blade like vertical. So because of that, the knife went down his ribs like but it went in like at the bottom. If the guy had tried to stab him with the blade sideways, it could have like gone between his ribs and like popped a lung or done whatever. So,
well, good thing that guy doesn't know how to stab properly.
Exactly. But because of that, I always, whenever there was a fight, I was always worried because my uncle, he didn't almost die, but he kind of almost died.
He definitely almost died.
Yeah, so I was ever since then. I've always been like, no, it's fine. I just like walk away. People can call me whatever they want. I'm like, bye.
Yeah,
Care.
yeah.
Yeah. Fights aren't worth doing.
Yeah.
John, were you at the porch with me when Sean Conley had a knife pulled on him?
No, I played that gig the year before you did.
Oh, so you know the gig.
It was you and Sean Conley in the woods
with
on
Eddie
a
Galvin,
stage with Eddie Galvin, and
Rhode Island legend.
yes,
Eddie Galvin.
And he didn't tell me until we were like 5 minutes away that it was for the Hells Angels.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, I wish you had told me that so I could mentally prep. But I
and I'm sorry to cut you off. I will say I have done many a shows for the Hells of Angels.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice people.
They were nice.
They're very nice,
Yeah.
but you got to be prepped going in. You just can't. Just can't send that fucking shirt to Hell's Angels. You know?
Give me a frame of reference. Like, yeah, don't set me up. I show up in a bow tie and it's like, oh, it's Hell's Angels. They're not going to want that.
Yeah,
it's going to be like Pee Wee Herman, like, shh, I'm trying to tell some jokes.
Remember when Harley had their 100th anniversary and there was a big thing in Milwaukee? It was like this giant thing, thousands of people from all over the country, this giant event. Went on for days, and the last day there was like this big concert that was a secret. They got some big, huge act for thousands and thousands of bikers, you know? And it turned out to be Elton John.
Oh, they must have rocked the shit out. Did they rock out?
You know? But the biker, it's a bunch of fucking bikers and stuff. They don't want to listen to Rocket Man.
Yes, they fucking do.
They want like a rock band, like a Leonard Skinner or AC/DC or something.
Yeah, you know? But sometimes there's things that you want and there's things that you need. And I think those men, even though they might not have wanted Elton John, when they saw him, they felt that need. I needed this, is what they said.
I'm sure they still enjoyed the show. I don't think anyone was like, fuck this and fuck you, Elton John. But, like, there was a shot on the news.
I'm sure a couple of them were like, fuck Elton John. I'm sure there's thousands of bikers.
A giant sign hung from an overpass that said, thanks for coming, everybody. Sorry about Elton.
That's pretty funny.
That was kind of funny.
That's a pretty good one. I like that one. I like that one.
But Sean Conley almost got stabbed at that show, right?
Yeah, so we're at the show, and it's in a big field. They have a stage, a huge, obnoxious stage.
Yes.
At somebody's house, they had a big field, big stage for bands, and then a band ended, and the guy that owned the house or somebody, they just stumbled up to the microphone and goes, all right, we're going to start a comedy show now. And nobody's... Like, comedy is a very intimate thing. You need, like, the perfect ideal setting for a comedy show is, like, 100 to 150 seats in, like, a dark, dingy, dirty fucking basement with all the lights out, one spotlight.
Yeah.
Hot. Yeah, you want a fucking hot room. You want the room to be hot, sweaty. That's ideal.
You want it hot?
You want it hot. You want people uncomfortable.
I've heard cool.
I made it up. I made it up. I want a hot. I want a sauna. I want a sauna. I want a drip
He doesn't
sweat.
want a sauna, everybody.
I want a fucking sauna.
No one does.
I want to. See, if it's the right room and it's hot, I'm not complaining. Wrong room and it's hot, Daddy wants a fan.
I don't know how much the hotness like matters.
It makes people uncomfortable, and if people are uncomfortable, they're more at an tensionary state. That's why all comedy clubs should have hard chairs. Why are you laughing at me?
Because
that's true.
Tensionary.
That's why McDonald's always had hard chairs, because they want people to not be too comfortable, so they'll get out, so they can have more people there.
You want uncomfortable chairs. You want people sitting with strangers. It's a psychological thing. You want people uncomfortable at a comedy show so that they can laugh. And that's laughing releases tension, Frank. It's fucking simple. John knows what I'm talking about.
I don't know about the temperature part, but I get everything else.
So anyway, big open field, and it was hot. And people were just sitting around the outskirts of the field. Nobody's sitting watching the show.
It's a barbecue. You're at a barbecue. A humongous barbecue with a stage in the middle of a field. And the barbecue is like at the top of a hill.
Yeah, it was not set up well.
No one is sitting in front of the stage. No one. It's just an open field in front of the stage. You're in like the middle of a field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And around the outskirts of people talking, not giving a shit, just kind of looking up,
Yeah.
saying, "Look at that asshole." So Sean starts the show, and some guy goes, "I don't want to hear your jokes." And Sean's like, "Yeah, but we're here now." He goes, "You're just gonna have to hear it, right?" And Sean's very bubbly on stage, and like he dresses like a fuck. How would you describe the way he dressed? Like a fucking auctioneer from the '30s, but it's at
Yeah.
yeah.
Hipster.
What?
He's a hipster, isn't he? He dresses
Yeah,
like a
he's
He's a hipster, but he's got his own thing. He's got his own thing.
It's a fucking
He's
vibe.
not a poser. He's not a
I
poser.
feel
No, I
like
don't mean it like that. I don't mean it
I'm
like
not. I'm just clarifying. I'm not saying you were
No,
being.
no, I feel like if a hot dog was a menu item at a brewery, it would be Sean Conley.
Yes.
And I don't even mean that as an insult. I
Right.
mean it like it's like a delicious hot dog.
What's not to like?
Yeah. So the guy goes, "I don't want to hear your jokes." And he's like, "Nah, I'm just going to tell the jokes here for a little bit." And the guy goes, "The fuck you are." And he pulls out a knife and runs at the stage and tries to stab Sean. But the stage was so high that it only went up to the guy's shoulder. So he's just swinging at Sean's feet, right? And Sean, fucking professional, he starts jumping up and down as the guy's swinging his arm. Like he's far enough away, he's not going to get stabbed. But as the guy's swinging, he's jumping like it's a jump rope. And then that gentleman was escorted off the property for obvious reasons.
I think he was the guy that's there the same year I did it because I went up. They had a band on. It's like with music, music can be a passive thing. I mean, yeah, you can put comedy on in the background if you're like cleaning your house or whatever, but you can't at a comedy show. You can't be like reading a book and kind of checking in every once in a while.
Yeah, you got to pay attention to the whole show.
Yeah, and so they had a band on, and the band was up there. I don't know, they were like a kind of like an AC/DC type of a band. They were great. They're up there killing it. And they wrap up and they're done. And then they bring me up in the middle of a field with one guy who's drunk and pissed because he was the only guy into the music. And he was dancing super drunk in front of the stage, going crazy, like a mosh pit of his own. And then they brought me up and he was like, "Shut the fuck up! Band! One music!" And I just got off the stage and walked toward the barbecue and I performed there. It's dead.
Yeah.
That's so funny, dude. John, me and you have been in the fucking trenches. There's no way. Like, you know what? Like, I see the fucking shows that the open micers are doing now, and it's like, you know what? I wish I fucking had that.
No kidding.
I wish I had that. Some of the shows are the same.
There's still plenty of insane shows.
Not
Really.
no, Frank. No, Frank. Where we performed, John, we did we used to do this place called Balls.
Yeah.
Right? Balls. That was like
It was a sports bar.
It was something.
And one night we go there and it's game 1 of the NBA Finals, Celtics-Lakers. The biggest possible finals you can mathematically have in basketball.
Yeah.
The two greatest teams historically. They're playing game 1, I think, in Boston, and it's a New England sports bar. The comedy show is still going to happen. It's supposed to start at 8. They got to clear out the whole room, move pool tables, all this stuff. At like 9:45, they hadn't even moved the pool tables. And I just told Parada, I was like, "Dude, I gotta get out of here." And he was like, "All right, Johnny, John always took care of me. I'm not shitting on him, but like it just wasn't going to happen." I told Bowden, that was like not long after we like met. And I was just like, "I got to go. I'll see you later."
I'm like, you're a better man than me.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a game like that on, you just got to check out. Because even if they had the room set up perfectly on time, everyone in that place hates your guts.
No one's there. They're going to watch the finals, the NBA.
Yeah, that's why they're there.
Yeah. They're not there to fucking hear me do my goddamn Lego joke. Yeah. And then fucking, and then John, you just want to get out of here, grab a beer, call this thing? And no, John, I'm hosting it. I'm hosting the first half of this show, John. I'm hosting the first half of this show.
I'm turning over sometime during game 3.
We've done shows where like you perform and instead of a spotlight, they just let the fucking dance lights go while we're
Yeah,
doing the show. We've done
So
shows
it's all
like
fucking
that.
flickery
we've
and
done
colored.
that. We did. Remember me, you, and Nate? We drove up to like some town in Massachusetts, and we did a bachelor party in an old train station that was now a bar.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yeah.
It was this
I
long, skinny room. It was awesome, but it was crazy.
yeah. It's like yeah, you show up. There's a fucking train. It's like oh, that's where you're performing. Okay. Okay. It's fucking drunk idiots laying around everywhere on the fucking train. Gotta
Yeah.
suck them in, right?
You
Hey
never
guys,
know.
I know you're all having fun right now, but listen, you're gonna have to stop it for a minute. We are gonna tell you jokes.
Yeah.
Some of the things that people
It
have.
really is a thing where it's like, hey, you don't know you want this, but we're gonna make you, and then they
Yeah,
usually don't want it.
yeah, and it's like, dude, like I'm at a point now where if somebody offers me a gig and I know it's a train wreck, I offer so much. Like I price it out where it's like,
Oh yeah,
if you want me to do this, I am going to be satisfied with the amount of money you're giving me for, and that's it. Like there's shows I've just held the check in my pocket the whole time while I'm on stage, just saying, at least I have money after this. I sold my soul for money.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Or like, uh, Frank, you might still get this. Like, John, when you're early on in your career, you get like, hey, you want to come do a show for exposure? The exposure
Yeah,
shows. You get
yeah.
exposure shows. It's
I.
it'll be good exposure.
It's been a long time since anyone said that to me, and I never did them even when I started. Just
I
people who do
wrote a
them, it's usually just stink like incompetence and stupidity, and they're awful people.
I have a check in my possession somewhere. Oh, here it is. I wrote it out. It's a check to National Grid for exposure. And I tell the electric company, you don't understand, electric company. I did this show for exposure, and I would now like to trade in some of the exposure I got for lighting.
I like that.
And they told me to go fuck myself.
That's true.
That's
Hmm.
not fair.
Not fair at all.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is. You know.
We've had some good ones though. We've had a lot of fun gigs. I mean, honestly, it was kind of funny because when Balls was like on a good night, that room was great.
Oh yeah.
Some nights
Oh
you'd be in there,
yeah.
that place was going crazy, man. It was awesome. Some nights, and then some nights it was a root canal. It was awful.
Yeah. Oh God. Most nights it was a root canal, but when it was humming, baby was stinging. You know what I'm saying? It was
Yeah,
humming. It was a good time. We've been together through the best of times and the worst of times, John.
yeah, yeah.
John, you know what? John's so good of a friend. I just want to say with John, this is how good of a friend fucking John is. John O'Connor, not Porch anymore. John O'Connor. One day, he used to be Porch.
I
It's
know.
so
It's
hard.
fine. You can still
So
call me that. I don't
hard.
care.
How long have we known each other? 20 years, 30, 40, 50 years we've known each other?
I'm
75 years of
42, so
friendship.
it's probably been 39 years.
Like 39 years.
Listeners, John's stage name used to be John Porch, and then he changed it to his regular name, his real name.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. He called. When did you change your name to John Porch? Do you remember? Because I remember.
You remember?
I do. I do.
I don't remember specifically.
It was a Dan Curran show.
Yeah.
You listened to Pearl Jam on the way to the show, and you listened to Porch, and you showed up and said, "I think I want to be John Porch."
I don't think that's how it happened. I think, all
remember.
right, let me say this. Maybe that is what I told you, and maybe that did happen. But I feel like one night I was at home, really drunk and delusional. And I was actually thinking of, I was like, because my name is so common. Everywhere I've worked, everywhere I've gone to school, I'll always get the wrong guy's email or mail or whatever, like, because it's a common name. And I knew that, like, if somebody Googled me, they would never find me.
Oh.
And I was trying to think of, like, you know, like a 1-2 punch kind of a name. The two names I thought of specifically were Dane Cook and Joe List. And I was like,
Yeah.
2 pounds, and you know who that guy is. And you can
Yeah.
find him if you look him up.
Mm.
So that was part of it. And then Pearl Jam, I thought that maybe one day I'd be a big enough comedian, they'd want to open for me. So
I think you're a big comedian just based on the fact that you're the only comedian that ever acknowledged Dane Cook as an inspiration.
Say what you will about Cook, but he did everything kind of perfectly.
he's a
Really.
genius.
At
Yeah.
the
You can
time,
get on all they
at
want.
the
He's a
time,
genius, dude. He is.
And his
at
first
the
two
time.
albums I remember enjoying. I don't. It's been forever since I heard them, but I remember liking his first two albums.
You know what? I used to. I'll tell you this. When I first started out, and I didn't know that you could, that you weren't supposed to steal material. I would do Dane Cook jokes every once in a while. They were a big hit. So shout out to
Go figure.
they were a,
Go
they
figure.
were a big hit. They were a big hit. That and Delirious got very big laughs. Very big laughs.
I used to do a bit called "The 7 Words You Can't Say on TV." It was,
I invented it. I invented that. I invented it. Uh, but no, John is. I remember one year it was around my birthday. John just calls me up one day. He goes, "Hey," he goes, "You home?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "I'm on my way to a show. I got to stop by." And John stopped by, and I'll never forget. It was one of the nicest things anybody ever did for me. You got me fucking all mango flavored snacks. You
Yeah.
got me like mango mochi. You got me mango fucking fruit snacks. You got me mango fucking juice. Everything was mango, and you're like, "I got this for you, mango." And like an actual, like there was an actual mango. And to this day, whenever I see mochi ice cream, I think of you. I think of John O'Connor every time.
I was happy to do it. But plus, if you haven't tried mochi ice cream, like, what are you sleeping on, dude? You got to get
Yeah.
on it.
I mean, the
Most
Japanese stuff with like the pastry or whatever on the
It's
outside.
like frozen dough with
Yeah.
ice cream inside. I think it's delicious. I love it.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's a phenomenal fucking snack. It's ice cream. You don't need a fucking cone or a stick or a goddamn fucking bowl to eat. You pop it in. You pop it, and
Yep.
it's delicious. And the
Very
texture
popular
is
in Japan.
the Japanese know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing with their mochi.
You
With
said
their
the texture. That's what I like, is that it's chewy but also creamy ice cream.
Yeah.
I
I
love
love
it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fucking great. It's fucking great. Uh there was something else I was gonna say along the lines of mochi. Along the lines of mochi ice cream, but I completely forgot in the vast excitedness that I got about mochi. And I'm
They got all
sorry.
kinds now. Did you try? They got a. I'm gonna say it wrong. Actually, no. I don't. I think it was a s'mores. There's like chocolate with a caramel with like a marshmallow.
Oh, that's pretty
center in the
cool.
middle. I
That sounds rich. I
Yeah.
I like a fruity light dessert. I don't like a thick ice cream.
I
I
also
don't like
prefer a fruit. I will mix it up every once in a while, but I would prefer a fruity light, like fruity flavored dessert, like you're talking about.
I love
Ugh.
a nice dessert. There's a place down the road from me. It's called the Treehouse Tavern. Shout out to the Treehouse Tavern.
It's a very good
They
place.
have you ever seen their fucking dessert tray, Frank?
No, but I
I
wouldn't. I wouldn't like it if there's a lot of fruit on there. Fuck that.
I went there on a very hot day, and I saw this ice cream it's a giant fucking tray. The way her arms were shaking when she was bringing it to the table next to us, and she put it down, and this bitch starts fucking rip roaring super soaring all through the goddamn dessert tray. It was crazy. She's like, and this is the creme brulee with what have you on top, and this is fucking banana nut fuck your face cheesecake with this and that, and this is a compote. She said compote twice. I don't know what a compote is. But two of the things had compote. There was about 7 or 8 desserts on this thing, and she fucking named every one. And now it's like I have to see that dessert tray every time I go there. I made her bring it to the knowing I wasn't going to get dessert. I just wanted to see the show with you. I made her bring it back. She's like, "You want dessert?" And my date was like, "I don't know." I'm like, "You know what? I think why don't we just take a look really quick?" And she comes over with this fucking tray, slaps it down on the fucking table. She goes, "Everything's homemade, all down to the whipped cream." It's like, "Oh shit, buckle up, here we go." Fuck your face cheesecake, creme brulee, fucking tit tat in this.
I will say, if a restaurant has homemade whipped cream, it sounds like not a big deal. Sorry, but it is a huge deal. It's so
Yeah?
different than like out of the can whipped cream. It just tastes like it's worse for you. It tastes like richer and it's more flavorful. That's a difference maker. But really, I've never got into fruits in my dessert ever.
Why?
I like there's like two desserts that I like that have fruit in them, and all the other because for when I think dessert, I think things that are I guess like candy flavors. I think like chocolate, vanilla, stuff like that.
You like a decadent, thick dessert is what you
Yeah.
like.
I don't want some fucking raspberry. I don't want fucking berries and shit all over everything.
Oh, I do.
Nope.
Bury it up.
Yep.
Yeah, like a nice light parfait, or
Ugh.
like a strawberry cheesecake is delightful.
Well,
That's about
strawberry it doesn't get much thicker of a dessert than a cheesecake.
well, that's as thick as I go. Is the
I
cheesecake?
mean, that's really the heaviest dessert I think in the world.
But it's not. But it's not. I mean, it's dense.
I mean, I guess it's second to a stick of butter with sugar on it.
Two things. Two things. Number one, I meant to say angel food cake and cheesecake.
Big difference.
That is correct, John. That is a big difference.
It could not be more. Yes.
And you know what? I will indulge in a cheesecake if it is a cheesecake friendly place. It's got to
Oh,
be.
of course. A good cheesecake's tremendous.
Have you ever been to the Cheesecake Factory, John?
Oh yeah.
Do you know that those motherfuckers freeze their shit and send it to the stores? It's not made fresh in house. Did you know that? It's a big fucking lie.
I didn't know that, but I think I've only been there a couple of times.
I will say though, in their defense, a cheesecake you usually eat it cold, so it's not like an apple pie where when it's fresh out of the oven, it's like, oh, that's awesome. A cheesecake,
in my defense, a factory is where you make things.
I'm saying if they made it on premises or in a factory, the end result would be pretty much the same exact thing.
Like a cheesecake factory.
Yes.
I mean, you go to a brewery, they're brewing the beer for you. They should call it the Cheesecake Bar.
Yeah, they should. Yeah.
Thank you. Another winning argument, John.
Sorry, I keep hearing things. I think my dogs are. Sorry.
This is the only time we haven't heard your fucking dogs in the past one.
No, I mean that's the thing. I'm hearing like paws walking around, or like the sound of a crinkly paper, or like whatever. So I keep looking behind me because I'm expecting Morty to have the trash or something, or who knows.
I hope he does. If the dog has the trash right now,
Yeah,
what would you do?
I would get up, take it away from him,
You would get up.
probably put him. I'd have to lock him in another room, clean up the trash, see if I can figure out what he ate. Probably have to call Kirsten and be like, "He got in the fucking trash. I don't know what he ate. It looks like he might have eaten this. Do I have to bring him to the hospital?" It would be like a whole production,
Well,
and
you
she'd
gotta
probably be like,
train-
"You'll be fine."
John, you got dogs. You train them. You haven't heard John's dogs once this whole time.
No.
I didn't even know you had a dog or
To be
dogs.
fair, my two dogs are cats, but
Yeah. I know you had something with fur.
I
on
always
it.
had-
Cats are very little. I mean,
Samantha's cats are the first cats I've ever had. No one
Yeah?
in my whole family ever grown up. Not one person in my mom's family or my dad's family had a cat. None of
That's
them.
incredible.
Yeah,
That's
that is
incredible.
very surprising.
Wow.
They all
So
hate
what's it like living with death machines, John?
I have to say, I was always terrified of cats, and I still am. But at least these guys, I have to say, of all the cats I've ever been around, these guys are on the lower end of aggression and
Autism.
stuff.
Okay.
They're very, for the most part, they're very tranquil. Sometimes they run around the house and kind of
Yeah, they get zoomies.
They get a
They
little
do
crazy. Yeah.
Oh, that would freak me out. I
It's
wouldn't
funny.
be
Oh,
able
it's
to handle
adorable because they just run around like they're in the wild, but they're not, and they just run
Yeah.
in circles.
And
shit.
Charlie growls. Like last night, he actually scared me because he runs by and he's like,
What the fuck?
and I'm like, whoa, shit. Yeah, he gets a little animated.
that cat's really amped up then in that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's funny is we brought him home. He had we found like a lump on his side. He's okay, but we had to like take him to the vet, and they had to like slice him open, remove a growth, whatever, stitch him up. We took him home, and they, whatever they give him, they drug him up for the surgery. We took him home, and I've never, I got bit in the face. It's a very quick story. When I was like 12, I think, ish, 12-ish.
Yeah.
I was on the floor with my grandfather's dog. It was a little mutt. It was always like a nice dog. It always like was obedient and shit and smart. And I don't know what I did. If I leaned the wrong way or was like I spooked him out, he jumped up and he bit me in the face. But he like
Jesus.
just caught like the bridge of my nose, like just cut it just a little, and then he got my lip for like a second. So I had like a little cut on my lip, and I had got a fat lip, and I had a little mark on my nose, and that was it. But ever since then, around animals, which I love animals, but I'm skittish. I'm skittish.
Oh, I'd be.
Yeah,
too.
Animal, I gotta make sure I'm comfortable first before I'll
Yeah.
go to them. Yeah.
Brian, what's the traumatic experience you had that made you afraid of cats?
I don't know what happened with the cats, but my auntie Tammy had a dog that was a motherfucker. This dog, and this is and I'm gonna say it now. Fuck my family because this dog would attack me. I'll never forget. It was after a baseball game. I played baseball, so I felt really musky because I was an athlete, and the dog came running at me and started like biting like my shirt, my fucking uniform and shit. And they took the dog away, and then the dog came and attacked me again. All right, like they put the dog away, they put it on the leash, and they go, "Oh, the dog's fine now." They took it off the leash, and then it started attacking me again. They did this 3 fucking times. These people.
Who were they with the dog?
All my family members with the dog, letting it loose and attacking me over and over again. And they're just saying, stop attacking Brian. Stop it.
Was he attacking you, or was he just like jumping up on you to play?
I was scared. I was a child, and I was scared.
Because I will say, if a dog's attacking you, it's not something that you could let happen 3 times.
When a 9-year-old is yelling, "The dog is killing me," you do something about it.
If that happened to my kid, I don't have a kid, but if that happened to my kid one time, I might kill that dog.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
And
I almost fucking punched the golden retriever in the face one time.
It's fucking go time. Your kids, you know, like fuck that.
I think about that when I walk these dogs. I'm like, if some other person's fucking dog ever attacked one, I'm like, I guess I would just kill that dog. Like, what do you? I just realized in my head, given the right circumstances, I am murdering a dog, and I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I don't have it. I took Trenton fishing. Took my son fishing. I'm putting the worm on the hook, right? And my son was up on a little. We had it's like a bike path, and he's just kind of playing on the bike path. And all of a sudden, this fucking golden retriever starts running to full fucking speed, running towards him, and he freezes. He's like, "Oh my god!" So and he's yelling, "Daddy, daddy, daddy!" So I drop the fishing pole. I go running up the fucking hill, but it was like a steep hill, so I'm like tripping up the fucking hill to try to get him. And I just see this dog and this lady who is very not close is going, "It's okay, he's friendly." And I wanted to fucking punch this lady. I wanted to punch the lady.
People like that need to be smacked around sometimes.
Oh, I hate that. I don't want
I'm a stranger. You can trust my dog. Fuck you.
Yeah. I wouldn't trust a cookie if you handed it to me. I'm not going to trust an animal that could rip my face off.
Yeah. If I'm waving a gun around and I'm saying, "Don't worry, it's not loaded," are you going to?
You don't know me. I might be crazy. I'm in the woods.
Yeah.
Like Jesus Christ. Yeah. With a dog in general, even if it's a Chihuahua, you have something where if you don't take care of it properly, it is dangerous.
Yeah.
Period.
Absolutely.
And there's no reason anyone should assume that if you're out in public, they trust you or that you're competent. Most people aren't competent. Like, there are breeds where it's like you should definitely have to pass some kind of competency exam before you raise like a man-eater. Because if you don't know what you're doing, you shouldn't be allowed to.
Yeah, why do you have a wolf with a saddle? Who the fuck are you?
Yeah. That would be pretty fucking awesome to have.
That would be pretty sweet, though.
But anyway, to answer your original question, it can be scary with the cats. Actually, when we brought Charlie home and he was all drugged up, they were like, he might like hiss at you and he might do whatever. And I'm like, okay. And Samantha is not, like, I'm still afraid of them. She is not. She'll go near them anytime. And
they're her cats.
Which I get, right? They're her cats. Charlie, dude, I've never had an animal look at me. He had a cone on his head. He was out of surgery. He was and he looked through me, like just through me like a grizzly bear. And he just and he was just like, I was terrified.
Yeah, that cat's gonna kill you for sure.
Yeah, dude.
But he didn't do anything. He just did that until he felt better.
This is how I express myself.
I would have killed Charlie and then explained to my girlfriend that I needed to get the jump.
She was next to him.
What?
Yeah. I told you.
Dude.
Yeah.
Dude.
It scares me. She loves them and like she's not afraid of them. I am afraid of them still. I like them. I love them actually. I do.
You can love it. Hey, you
I'm
can
scared.
love it. Hey, you can respect. I respect. That's when people say you hate cats. I say I don't hate them. I don't hate them.
What do you respect about him?
I respect that they do not give a fuck. I respect that. That is a very that's a great thing that they got going on for them. They got a good thing going. And everybody knows that cats don't give a fuck. People buy cats and they watch it walk around the room not giving a fuck.
Yeah.
You know? But then when that cat does give a fuck, look out, because then it's running back and forth. I have a friend, they send me Snapchats of their cat with the chasing a laser pointer. It I mean, people send me videos, they think I'm not scared of cat pictures. I'm a fucking man. But
But you put a little kitten named Mr. Baby anywhere near you and you have a panic attack. A full-blown panic attack.
that name is a ploy. It's to throw you off. That's the thing. You hear Mr. Baby and you don't think Silent Assassin.
Yeah.
Right?
At the time,
exactly.
it weighed like a quarter of a pound. It was a little tiny baby.
Yeah.
I tell you what.
The size of a washcloth. It was tiny.
It was very small.
A quarter of a pound can do a lot of fucking Frank Fisher fucking care.
I'll fix your camera.
A quarter of a pound can do a lot of damage. Okay, do a lot of damage. All right. Hey, a quarter pound of bullets flying at your head will fuck you up.
Quarter pound of meth will do that as well.
Quarter pound of meth.
Almost anything on Earth flying at your head. Not a great day. You know.
That point proven. Argument number 2. Yeah. Check. Got
Summer
it.
sausage. Quarter pound of that hitting you in the head. Not good. You know. Avocados. You don't want that hitting your head. Not a quarter pound of them.
No, not a quarter. I mean, a quarter pound is the same weight no matter what the fuck it is. You know? But if given the chance, you're going to throw a quarter. You're going to. What, Frank?
Sometimes you just speak in truisms. You just say things that are true as if it's like a figure of speech. You know? You know what they say? A quarter pound's a quarter pound no matter what it is.
You know that you can put your head up a bull's ass and get a good look at a butcher. You know what I'm saying? But if you were to say, all right, Brian, here's a catapult with a quarter pound of feathers on it and a catapult of quarter pound of knives, what rope do you want to cut? I'd say fucking feather me up. I'll even fucking throw honey on myself so I look pretty when I'm done. I look like fucking Porch's shirt.
Hell yeah.
How did you get there from what we were talking about to catapults of feathers?
Because we were talking about the cat. The cat's a quarter pound, and it will hurt. And you said a quarter pound cat can't hurt. I said a quarter pound can do damage, and we talked about all the different quarter pound things that could fuck you up. A quarter pounder could probably fuck you up. A frozen quarter pounder.
Royale with cheese could fuck you up. Come on.
It'll royally fuck you up.
What I also love is that your 2 options you gave yourself for catapults were feathers and knives.
Yeah.
Which is that's like a good podcast name or a band name or.
Oh, Feathers and Knives, yeah. They're like a Japanese metal band.
I don't know what we're talking about, but I'm interested. Feathers and Knives.
Yeah, right? Feathers and knives, baby.
And knives and feathers. You got to play your demographic.
Nah, you gotta put the knives second because you want feathers in people's heads the longest.
Yeah. Knives has a bigger impact. Bigger impact on the knives. Yeah.
That's a psychological thing. That's a psychological comedy thing, Frank. Another one. It is 100%.
That's why it's always salt and pepper. Whoever says like, give me the pepper and the salt. Like,
anybody tells me to give them the pepper and salt, I don't fucking trust them.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't trust that person.
There's a reason salt is the Jordan of those.
That's like when people call soda pop. They gave me a pop. What the fuck you? I'm not giving you a pop. I'll get you soda.
You know, they call it pop pretty much everywhere else except here, I think.
Well,
you know what's crazy?
That's why I don't go to those places.
Yeah. I grew up in Boston. they called it tonic. I called it tonic until I was like 8 years old,
Wow.
and we moved to the suburbs. I'm not kidding. It's like an old Boston thing that like another word for soda was tonic. I called it tonic all the fucking time until we moved to the suburbs. I was like 7 or 8.
Do you think that band? Do you think that band was trying to cash in on soda?
I know.
Maybe.
Frank, name one tonic song.
Oh fuck. They don't do the "I Am Barely Breathing" song, do they?
Sure, I don't know. I don't
No,
know.
that's like Uncle Cracker, isn't it? I don't know.
I don't know.
If you played a tonic
anything
song,
else you want to tell us? What else do you listen to, Frank? What else is in your fucking Spotify?
no, I don't know these songs. Otherwise, I would know the answer to them. I don't listen to them. What's a tonic song? I've listened to tonic before. Right?
I don't know the name of it. I could, you know, if you could only see the way she loves me. Is
Oh,
that it?
that's tonic. Is that
I think
tonic?
it is. I might be wrong.
Yeah. That's the one. Yep. Yeah. See, that's a song.
Yeah. I'd go see them in the Goo Goo Dolls.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, I saw the Gin Blossoms like 10 years ago, and it was one of the best concerts I've ever been to.
I heard they're good. I heard they're
They were
good. Live.
awesome. It was like they are you can tell it's like they've been doing this for like 30 years. They're professionals. They all still sound and play great. Yeah.
They do that thing. I'm going to see my favorite band. One of my favorite bands is mine. I'm going to see Train. I'm going to see fucking Train. Hop on the fucking choo-choo train.
Where you seeing them?
They're playing with Blues Traveler and Jewel.
Dude, sick.
Yeah, it's a fucking fun show, right?
It's a stacked lineup.
Fuck yeah. That's a good time. That's a good time.
That's also 3 bands I've never seen. I would love to see that.
Oh, John. Dude, Train, let me tell you, John. Train, you want to talk about a banger fucking session like you ain't never seen before?
I bet.
Train.
You've never taken me to a bad band.
True that. And
You've never taken me to a bad band.
Same for you. Same for you. We've had a long list of concerts.
We have. We've had a bunch of good times, man.
We did one night. Remember we did Fish, Pearl Jam, and then Fish again?
Yeah. It was like Worcester, Hartford, or Worcester, Hartford, something like that. And
I think it was Hartford. It was like a
overlap at those 2 venues. Yeah,
it was fucking great. It was great. We saw Bronson Arroyo at the Pearl Jam show.
Yeah, dude. We're like sitting down before the show kind of spread out. Like Brian's like at the end of the row. I'm at the other end of the row. It's still filling up, and I look over and I see Bronson Arroyo like walking in front of us, like on the floor, kind of
like the baseball player.
Yeah, like he was a Red Sox pitcher. This is probably what 6 years ago. No, this is like 10 years ago, probably.
Yeah,
right? This is like 6 years removed from his World Series, and like he was kind of a like mini sports celebrity, right? There he is, like walking like through the arena, and I see him, and I look over at Brian, and I just nod, and I go, Bronson Arroyo, and he turns and he looks, and he sees him, and you just see Brian's face like right up. He was so happy he was there, and he's like, Bronson! And he throws the nod, and Brian's like, he was so glad he got to harass him for 1 second.
Oh, it was the best. I love harassing everybody.
Yeah.
So another thing that John has done for me that has changed my life for the better. One day, John calls me. He goes, I got to send you something. Give me your address. I give him the address. A couple days later, I get a package in the mail, right? My mom calls, says, you got a package. And I open it up, and it's this video game called Overwatch. And John says, we got to play this game. And I started playing Overwatch. How many years ago was that, John?
Had to be 4, because I was still living in the East Village. I've been with my girlfriend for 3 years, and that was when I lived there. So
it was 75 years ago. He sent this.
Blizzard worked on it for a long time before that too. It was.
And I started playing Overwatch with John, and then I started playing Overwatch by myself, and then Overwatch Wednesday happens every Wednesday, and it's when we all get together. Frank, John O'Connor, Mike Holmes, Kirsten Logan, Frank's Mexican wife, and Tim. And we all play Overwatch together.
We do.
We have a full team. And if somebody can't make it, we got an alternate. My son jumps in and plays with us.
Right.
And I gotta tell you, my son loves playing Overwatch with us so much. He calls it the gang. He's like, "Can the gang all play today?" You
Oh,
know, he
that is
absolutely
adorable.
he loves it. He loves playing with you guys. Frank swears the most. Uh, and it's a great time. It's a great time. What's really funny is uh Overwatch has different characters. Different characters have different abilities. And the way that we communicate these abilities to each other would be like yelling out invisible bitch, because there's a character that's invisible. And when she pops up, you go, "Oh, there's that invisible bitch." And and that's how we know that character. There's another character that
Yeah,
puts
like we're getting
lasers.
ambushed by her. You call it
Yeah,
out. You know someone's getting attacked by them.
yeah,
Yeah.
invisible bitch, invisible bitch. There's another character that throws out these little things that shoot lasers out, and whenever she puts up a little round thing that shoots a laser, we call it a titty. We say there's titties on the point. There's titties on the point.
Yeah, I
But
was
we
playing
can't.
with Carson the other day, and we were in a voice chat with whoever else was in the game, and I was like, "There's Symmetra." I was gonna say titties. I couldn't think of the other word, and then Kirsten was like, "There's turrets." She put her turrets up. I was
Oh,
like, "Thank you."
I call them titties. I still call them titties with strangers' kids, not with mine. Um, but things get very intense during Overwatch. Not only do we just play for fun, we play competitively.
What's that mean, Brian?
I mean, we do the competitive modes. It's intense,
It's
It is
ranked. It's
intense.
ranked.
It's
and
ranked
you
play.
get ranked. You get ranked, and then and I set a goal in Overwatch 2 years ago when I found out that Frank loves Overwatch. I said I need to accomplish something. So I am proudly announcing that I have hit platinum level competitive open queue in Overwatch, and I am fucking thrilled about it. It is an
Yeah.
accomplishment. Thank you, John.
It's a great accomplishment. You climbed from you were like bronze, low silver when you started. I think.
I was low silver, and I just kept climbing and working hard, and I made it. And that is why John Porch is here today. We are here to celebrate me being a platinum fucking competitive open queue Overwatch player. Fuck what you heard. I'm the best, son.
Pretty good.
I mean, you did
Like,
do
that's a
it.
great
Yeah,
accomplishment.
it is an accomplishment.
It is
It's
an
an
accomplishment.
accomplishment, and now I think it's time to keep on with this ceremony and move on to the speeches. John, I believe you have one prepared.
I do. I have a
Yes,
prepared speech just for this occasion.
excellent.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we are gathered here today to ask a single question. Brian, does your back hurt from carrying the team every Overwatch Wednesday?
Yes, yes.
I mean, whether it's dropping some loads on Main Street, booping invisible bitches in QP, throwing some titties, or trashing some salty noobs, your rank up to platinum only proves we could never group up with you because you're just too far ahead. I wouldn't waste a nano on you because you're already too OP'd. People say Jesus walked on water. Well, Brian booped that guy off the map and wall rided his way to platinum.
Amen.
I don't need to keep feeding your ego, but your alt is playing. Now, allow me to poke just a little fun at our resident Overwatch expert, Frank Gazzaro. Frank, high ground Gazzaro, and I'm sorry to take the low road, but I have to burst your bubble just a bit. Frank the Tank and his SR rank have a current rank of stank.
It's true.
He got a rank stank.
Oh,
Or I like to call it Frank's choke point. Frank, you need healing. Hit scan, high ground, dive comp. These are all terms Frank is familiar with, but Brian doesn't need. Frank, don't be trash. I'd say that perhaps you could get a boost by becoming Brian's Overwatch apprentice, but I wouldn't want you to overextend. This achievement of Brian reaching platinum must be doing 800 DPS to your soul. In closing, Frank, don't be salty. Brian, I hope you always have a mercy in your pocket, or you're just happy to see me.
Oh,
To everyone on Team Believe, GR, GG, well played, and you can always get a little slice of this porchy pie.
Thank you, John. Oh, yes.
Your team captain, John Porchy Pie O'Connor.
Beautiful.
All right.
You,
P.S. Please don't report me.
that was very nice,
that was
John.
incredibly impressive.
And Frank, it is now time for your speech.
I don't have a speech.
I knew you wouldn't. I went ahead and prepared one
You
for you.
didn't tell me to do a speech.
It's been done. It's in the chat.
Oh, you were just gonna. So Brian didn't tell me he just wants me to read the one he wrote.
It's Frank's speech, everybody.
Okay, here's Frank's speech that Brian did not write. Watching Brian climb to such an astronomical level was the most all-inspiring Watching Brian climb to such an astronomical level was the most all-inspiring accomplishment I've ever seen in the history of Overwatch. I am practically a virgin, have devoted countless hours to YouTube videos, articles, tutorials, and actual gameplay, and I still have to almost accomplish the superb level of player that is Brian Bowden. There's no punctuation, so I don't know what I'm supposed to pause and stuff. I wish I were half the player that Brian is, but alas, I am not. However, with more YouTube videos, tutorials, articles, and actual gameplay, I will climb out of current silver status, enter gold level, and literally be half as good as Brian. I have literally spent huge portions of my life studying this game, and I am not as good as Brian! He's so good, his Winston play gives me a boner, his healing stream keeps us healthy, and his Torb turret placement is incredible. Congratulations, Brian, you're platinum, but to me you'll always be mega platinum.
Thank you, Frank.
Wow.
And I, too, have prepared a speech for such an occasion. I stand before you humbled. I stand before you a man who has climbed to platinum level competitive open queue play in Overwatch. Achieving such a goal took a considerable amount of time, concentration, and teamwork. I would like to thank John O'Connor, Kirsten Logan, Michael Holmes, and Frank's friend Tim for being great teammates. We stood shoulder and shoulder as war-torn brother and sister covered in the blood of our enemies. We have battled the best and rose victorious time and time again as Team Believe. We also lost a lot. You are my liege, and I would gladly lay down my life for yours. I would also like to thank Mercy Player, username MomBanger420, for the consistent heals throughout our Lijiang Tower winning map. My name is Brian Bowden. I am the Blast Master 72, and I am platinum.
All right.
Thank you, guys. I wasn't expecting all that. I appreciate it.
Well,
You're welcome.
I just feel bad for anybody listening that doesn't play Overwatch because whatever I talked about, no one's going to get any of the fucking jokes in there.
No, not one bit, and that is okay. That is okay.
You know, John, I did something similar to what you did in my wedding vows with
I
Kirsten.
remember you told us about it. I thought
Yeah.
it was great.
Yeah, it was very good.
Yeah,
That's it. John Porch's inspirations: Dane Cook and Frank Gazzero.
that's
There we
right.
go.
Yeah. This has been a great time. We are going to stop this, and we're going to go over to Patreon. So if you want to hear us do this some more, we'll be over on the Patreon page. That's over at patreon.com/wickedfunnypodcast. Go to wickedfunnypodcast.com. Shout out to Crystal for binge listening again, which, that's good for her. That's a lot. That's
Oh,
a
she
lot.
started over?
She started over.
Oh.
She sent us a nice message, said, I love you guys so much. I'm binge listening again. And thank you
Wow.
to everybody I've got a lot of binge listeners out there. So thanks for binging. And we appreciate it. Keep binging on us. And John, where can people binge on you?
I'm not really doing a lot right now, but I am. I'm not. Stuff's been going on, so I haven't been doing a lot. But if you want to,
You took a voice acting class. I want to talk to you about that on the Patreon. I'm gonna write that down. Okay.
happily,
Yeah.
I'm on. Look at my podcast called Spectacular Show. It's on hiatus, but look it up.
Yeah, go find a Spectacular Show. I've been on it. We did a whole Saved by the Bell
We
fucking
did. It was
episode,
fun.
and it was a boner fest. Everybody, thank you for listening. Frank, you got anything to say to these fine
Not
people?
really.
All right, thank you guys. Have a good one.